First of all, thanks for your time. And hopefully when we're done, you hear the cliches all the time that right place, right time, right place, right time. Hopefully when you're done, you'll see the differentiation. You'll see this really is the right place, right time. Myself, I travel, as Steve said, all over the United States full time. I do presentations on miracles. That's what I do. What a cool job, right? It doesn't pay a lot. And by the way, that's my wife and 3 kids. I've been married 15 years. We live in Justin, Texas. But I got a chance to meet Mark Adams several months ago. And I found out real quickly that most of you probably know, those of you who don't, he was Ernst & Young Entrepreneur of the Year in 2008. 5 businesses, successful, still running. And then I got a chance to spend a week in Mexico with Larry Cantrell, John Constantine. Incredible resumes, which you can read on the website. But I met them through this man, Steve Little. I've known Steve for about 10 years. And Steve, in the last 10 years, since he was 19, he hadn't worked a job. He's 53. And he hadn't been sitting on his couch. He's been traveling. In the last 10 years, Steve's made $8 million. One of my favorite sayings in the world is documentation beats conversation. And, it's not about the money. I tell you what impressed me the most is I met his children, and you guys are going to speak today, but I was over at his house, and his son, Austin, who's 19, right up on the front row here, he made a comment to us because he gave up an academic scholarship, which I'm sure he'll talk about. And the question was asked, why'd you do it? He said, looking back, my dad was always around. Always around. And that's been my primary goal in life. I always want to be around my kids. I want them to be around so much they say, Dad, can you leave me alone for a little bit? That's the honest truth. And I met him and he said, my dad was always around. I had a lot of friends that had rich dads, but they were never around. And that really caught my attention. So the first thing I want to talk about more than anything is time freedom. I know everybody wants time freedom. How do you get it? I want to use a couple experts. Robert Kiyosaki. How many heard of Rich Dad, Poor Dad? Yep. Yeah. How about Donald Trump? Yep. Yeah. They wrote a book. If you haven't read it, you need to get it. It's called Why We Want You to Be Rich. They're not talking about money. They're talking about freedom. And up in the upper left, if you haven't seen this before, these are called the quadrants. Wish I knew this 20 years ago. And then there's 4 types of people who make up the world of business. And they say these are the differences between them. One is an employee. As an employee, you exchange time for money, right? You work, you get paid. You don't work, you don't get paid. And then there's the S. That's where somebody says, you know what? I ain't going to be in business for somebody. I ain't going to build somebody else's dream. I'm going to go in business for myself. However, a lot of these people, maybe they're a 1099 sales professional. Maybe they own a small dry cleaning. Maybe they're a doctor. Maybe they're a lawyer. But you know what you hear a lot of times? You hear, I don't own my business. My business owns me. How many have heard that? Yeah. Right? They make more money, but a lot of times they go back to being an employee because they got all the liability, all the headache. Some of you who own a small business know what I'm talking about. And then there's the big business. This is somebody who doesn't have to go to the office. They might have 500 employees or more. They have a CFO, a CTO, a director of customer service. They're on the golf course during the week while we're driving to work. Then there's the I. This is the investor quadrant. Hey, here's what I want you to know. In order to be free, according to Donald Trump and Robert Kiyosaki, you need to be a B or an I. Here's the question. Everybody wants to be free. How do you do it? They wrote a book. Right? This ain't my information. And they said there's really 2 ways. One is you can spend 5 years and $5 million. Hey, most people have 5 years, and let's be frank, most people don't have $5 million. True? And they said the other option, this is a direct quote, read this. Look for and build a network of people to help you distribute a viable product to the marketplace, right? So 2 items of importance if you want to be free. One is you got to find a viable product, right? And the other thing is you got to understand how to look for and build networks. Without a viable product, there is no business. Let's talk about a viable product.
In a paradise of tropical mountains high in the Sierra Madres, coffee plants grow and thrive in the morning mist.
This is one of the most biodiverse areas in the world. We were wondering, what was it about this land that kept these people so healthy?
And for centuries, those who painstakingly tend to the wild coffee plants and harvest the beans have held a secret to health and longevity.
And we realized it when we saw them coming at 6 a.m., grabbing some coffee fruit, intaking it. It has to be the coffee berry.
all of a sudden it hit us. All of a sudden the world opened up.
For centuries, people have roasted coffee beans and enjoyed a cup of coffee. However, they have been missing the nutrients in the coffee fruit, in coffee berry.
The well-loved coffee bean is actually the seed of a delicious, healthful red fruit.
We found out that we were discarding what has the most value.
As we started peeling back the layers, it became apparent that the abundance of nutrition, the glyconutrients, the antioxidant contained really kind of put itself far above anything else we'd ever dealt with before.
Coffee berry, to our knowledge, is the most potent in total antioxidant capacity.
The coffee fruit, rich in phenolic acid, antioxidants, and natural nutrients, offered a gift to the world. But a gift that would not prove easy to give. This fruit is extremely delicate. A picked berry retains its peak flavor and nutritive value only for a short time. And so began a 7-year process of innovating ways to stabilize and preserve the nutrients of the fruit.
Until we took advantage of it as a waste product. It was being disposed of. It was right there the whole time.
Coffee berry, which is our flagship technology, it's a technology that we have been working on for a long time, a number of years.
Coffee berry's been hiding in plain sight for centuries, and all of a sudden we get the opportunity to bring this cornucopia of nutrition to the marketplace.
Fruit to fruit, volume to volume, whole fruit to whole fruit. Coffee berry is the highest in ORAC score.
We've got the knowledge. We've got the science. We've got a unique, exclusive product. We have a global business opportunity that's unprecedented.
These are new discoveries that are being reported in science.
This could not have happened 15 years ago. This couldn't have happened 5 years ago. It happened right now, at the right time, for the right reasons.
This opportunity, its time has come.
It's unique. It's exciting. It's going to change your life.
It's so important for you to understand that Mark has secured the worldwide exclusive rights in our industry. Nobody else in our industry can utilize the coffee berry. And that's the cornerstone ingredient. It's not the only ingredient, but it's enormous. And in fact, if you look at this slide and you think about it, there's so many companies out there. You've all heard of antioxidants. We've all heard you need antioxidants. You go to Whole Foods or any other place and they're filled up. They're filled up with juices, with pills and things like that. But you know what's interesting? If you look at it, factually speaking, it literally takes 625 grams of blueberries for 1 gram. 1 gram of coffee berry. And if you look at the scale, it's literally off the scale compared to orange, strawberry, blueberry, and the other ones. And Mark Adams secured the worldwide exclusive patent on that. It is amazing. Now listen, there's 5 industries that Mark looked at. I just kind of keep it real. I know for a fact Mark has 5 other businesses. He was Ernst & Young Entrepreneur of the Year. He didn't come into this blindly, right? He researched the industry, the direct marketing industry, and these industries. And he said, all right, which product lines are emerging? Which industries are emerging? So the first one, which makes sense, is coffee. Now, I evaluated this with my wife thinking about this, and my wife and I, the first thing we thought was, well, we don't drink coffee. We don't. We're probably the strangest people in the world. We don't drink coffee. But then somebody said something. They said, people will leave home without kissing their wife, but they won't leave home without a cup of coffee. And that resonated with me, right? And so looking at this, they've created the world's healthiest coffee. I'm talking regular, brewed, instant, latte, whatever you want. And one thing that made a big impression on me, my dad goes to McDonald's. You know, he get a 59 cents a cup of coffee. Most people go to Starbucks. But they said the brewed coffee at the end of the day ended up costing 24 cents a cup. I was like, if it's cheaper and it's better, I mean, one cup is equivalent to a cup of blueberries. And I'm told it doesn't taste like blueberries. Everybody, we've turned it on, loves the coffee. Now this next product is important to me. I got into whole food nutrition many years ago. And Bull, you and I talked about that. And I started realizing what you put in your body. You know, we've all heard you are what you eat, right? And so years ago, I got real fortunate. I started really focusing on natural health. I really did. And so when I heard about this next product, I was a little bit skeptical because I wanted to hear the facts, because there's all kinds of companies claiming they've got the best juice out there. But one thing that hit me is that a lot of them only have fruit juice, right? And then I was told they took this product loaded with coffee berry, and they said there's 21 servings of fruits and vegetables. 21 servings in 3 ounces. And they said broccoli, kale, spinach, and I'm like, well, my kids are out. They're not going to like it. My kids love it. I got a 13-year-old, a 9-year-old, and a 7-year-old, and my wife has to hide it from us, literally, because we just keep drinking it. But they said they took it to Brunswick Lab. They created the ORIC scale. They determined how you can determine how much antioxidants are in a fruit or food. And they took it there, and they did a double-blind placebo test on this thing. That blew me away. It was so strong. The blood markers were so strong, it was written up in a medical journal. Hey, by the way, this is a food product. It's not a drug. You don't have to do double-blind placebos. They did. So whether Tim Francis or Antoine McBay or Steve Little says it's good or Mark Adams, it ain't even relevant. Objectively speaking, it's phenomenal. Best in class, without question. And by the way, tastes wonderful. Now, how about the energy market? Red Bull, Monster, 5-Hour Energy. You go out there right there to the store, right there, 5-Hour Energy, right? I mean, what a huge market. Look at the stats here, 15 billion to 35 billion. These are emerging markets. They created an energy product that doesn't give you the crash, that gives you actual vitamins, right? And so you can actually get health and energy without the crash. Notice one thing, these are all consumable. They're all used up, and they're all replaced. John Paul Getty Gas Stations, billionaire. He said, find a product everybody wants, nobody has, make sure they're used up and replaced, and put yourself in the middle, and you can get rich. And you can get rich. 4th product, this launched in February, anti-aging serum. When I first saw this, Mark, I got to tell you, when my wife and I looked at this, they said, how old do you think she is on that picture there? And I said, 35. That's what I would have guessed. I can't tell you the age, but it's not 35. This is the same person. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen to you. For myself personally, I don't use daily moisturizer anymore, and you're going to hear some stories on this. But here's the thing. It's loaded with coffee berry. I don't know all the facts and figures. Here's what I know. That it goes on your skin, and your skin thinks it's food. That's what I know. And the stories have been incredible. I think this is an incredible market, but I actually think the next one's the biggest for me. Even though I don't drink coffee, I heard this, Steve. They said, lost 20 pounds in 10 weeks. By the way, I don't want to lose 28 pounds, right? Some people do, but they said, lost 28 pounds in 10 weeks. I'm like, okay. And then they said, here's the deal. They have a core product called Well-Trim IG. Now, this is a clinical trial. People need to hear this. You need to hear this. This has been proven, this core product, Well-Trim IG. They had 110 people, 10-week trial. They had the average weight loss was 28 pounds. But then they said 6 inches off the waist. How many want to lose 6 inches off your waist? I ain't guaranteeing it. And then they said 6.3% decrease in body fat. So they took this product, they put it with coffee berry, where you get a cup of blueberries in terms of their antioxidant capacity, and you drink 2 cups a day, and you've got a gourmet fat-burning coffee. Hey, I've never talked to anybody yet that I didn't tell them about this, even if they don't drink coffee, they didn't say, that's incredible, if it works. I just talked to Bo earlier. He told me, he said, man, I lost 26 pounds in 28 days. Ain't no guarantees on you losing weight, but if people could drink 2 cups of coffee a day and get rid of the junk and put this in there and lose weight and get increased energy, is that a market? Yep. Yeah. Huge market. Is it consumable? Yes. It's enormous. I love what this guy say, Warren Buffett. Things that you like to do should be your hobby. Things the world likes to do should be your business. I thought, yeah, I don't drink coffee, but that's true. Everybody I know does. You remember what Robert Kiyosaki and Donald Trump said? They said, you want to become a bee? If you ain't got $5 million, hey, pay attention. Look for and build a network of people that can help you distribute a viable product to the marketplace. How many people think we've seen some viable products? This company's debt-free, and they got 7 figures on the balance statement. So these industries are huge. So I looked at this as according to what Donald Trump and Robert Kiyosaki said, right? So let's talk about the network part of it. All right, first thing, in our day and age, you need a website. You get a website set up. Second thing, You're going to pick between a VIP, basic, and junior. I'll explain in a minute what that's all about. Third thing, by the way, anytime I hear network, what do you think of? Internet? Then I think of Facebook. That's what I think of, right? I mean, the guy from Facebook got rich, did he not? Yep. Who made him rich? We did. You sold your friends and family. You friended them. You sold them. Right? And because we have a big platform, and the advertiser said, we'll pay them millions of dollars because we got a big network to sell to. Right? So we built that, and we got paid nothing. So now you look at this, and you friend somebody. Now listen, this is not a customer. You can have hundreds or thousands of customers that go to your website, and they buy, and you get the difference between wholesale and retail. But let me ask you a question. Is there more money owning a restaurant, one restaurant, or selling restaurant franchises? Selling franchises. The richest people in the world look for and build networks. Everyone else looks for work, right? Many people who own a restaurant don't own a business. The business owns them. True or false? True. So you friend somebody. The company says this. That guy gets started. They set up a website. This person right here, I want you to know who that is. That is a person who's looking to add an additional stream of income to their life. And they themselves, or they know somebody that drinks coffee, that wants to lose weight, that wants 21 servings of fruits and vegetables in 3 ounces. You get the picture? So you friend them. For my example, I'm going to say that everybody starts with a VIP pack. They don't. In my team, basically everybody does. So on the VIP pack, the company pays you $100. We only make money when product is sold. They pay you $100. Another one, $100. Another one, $100. Friend 3 people. They set up a website. The richest people in the world look for them, build networks. They get a VIP pack. You made $300. What happens is that's your life team. If you do that in your first 28 days, the company also gives you $100. But now something really interesting happens. You become a marketing director. And a marketing director, you get a pay raise. Now, instead of making $100 for everybody you friend that gets a VIP pack, you make $200. So now it's $200, $200, $200. And then what happens is this. Imagine this. Imagine that you friend 3 people. Now, hey, raise your hand if you've got more than 20 people on Facebook, friends. I mean, look around. Over 100, raise your hand. How much are you making on that? They're making money. I'm going to sell to my friends and family. Yeah, you do. You just sold them on Facebook. You absolutely do. Now watch what happens though. Now these are people that you friended, right? That want to add an additional stream of income to their life. Maybe they're exchanging time or money. They're going to friend 3 people. Now you make $100 to infinity. It doesn't matter where or who friended them. You know how in Facebook you friend somebody, they friend somebody, now you got 6,000 people? Anytime anybody uses the product, you get paid. Find a product everybody wants or needs, nobody has, make sure it's used up or replaced. This keeps going down. 100, 100, 100, 100, 100. Now, you're not going to understand all this right now. When Anton breaks it down in the training video, you'll understand it. Here's what I want you to get. Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, wrote another book. It's called The Business School. Look at the screen. He said, the business school for people who like helping people. So what does that mean? In order for Stephen to move up the food chain and to go from marketing director, in order for you to move up, you have to help 10 people anywhere in the network. You didn't have to refer them anywhere in the network. 10 people become a marketing director. What does that mean? They made money. When that happens, you become a senior marketing director. They pay you $1,000 rank achievement bonus, and you now get a match on your life team. Listen, focus. Your first 3 people you get involved in this, they call your life team. So when you become a senior marketing director, what happens is the company kicks in and you're going to make 25% on their leadership bonus. People say, I'm not in sales. Good, find somebody who is. I'm not good at this kind of thing. Good, find somebody who is. This is the business for average people because you can find someone who's above average. So now, you got a pay raise. Now you friend somebody. It's not 100, it's not 200, it's 300. 300, 300, assuming they get the VIP pack. But look what happens. They start friending people. Now it's 2. Instead of 300 every 3, it's 600. Einstein said compound interest was the 8th wonder of the world. This is called compound people. Fellowship Church, if you pulled in, you saw Fellowship Church, one of the largest churches, 30,000 people. How'd they get big? They had a meeting at their house. Then they had a strip mall because they got big. And they said, come on, come on. And pretty soon, there's 20,000 people and everybody's paying their tithe. That's how they pay their salaries. Our tithe is coffee. There's a lot more positions. I want you to focus. To me, I think this is the most important slide in the comp plan, in my opinion. Now look what Kiyosaki said. He said the richest people in the world look for and build networks, but he said something very profound that I wish I'd have known 20 years ago. He said the definition of wealth, the number of days that you can survive without physically working and still maintain your standard of living. Steve, I asked myself that question. If my income from my full-time profession went away, how long could I survive? I'm embarrassed to tell you, probably 3 months. That's the reality. That's the world I live in. And in fact, that's the reality of 95% of the people out there, right? So it's about a passive income. So I want to give you a real-world example. Ben and Yana. So Ben, you're going to hear from him today. He plays professional football. He's from Waco, Texas. And he's 24, but he's played in Brazil, Australia, Finland. He came back and he sent me a text. He goes, you got anything you're working on? I just happened to meet with Steve Little. I said, I sure do. He goes, I've been playing professional football. I love my lifestyle, but I got 15 concussions. And he said, I don't make a lot of money. It's not like American football here, Tim. And he said, I don't want to work in a cubicle. And if you do, I'm not against that. That's where he was. He goes, I don't want to work in an office. So I introduced him to this. His wife, Yana, she's from Finland. Never done a business like this ever. They introduced this guy, David Estrada. Hey, David Estrada owns a production company in Austin. Then they introduced this guy, Chris Coker. He owns 2 businesses. He's 28 years old. His business grows 4 or 5 million in the last 5 years. What's my point? This ain't about people who are sitting home broke. These are business owners, right? The richest people in the world look for and build networks. Who do you know that's got a big network? And then there's this guy, Mike McDaniel. Here's the funny thing. He trained these guys. He was their boss. This is the first business where you can hire your boss. That's true. Mike trained all of them. Is that right, Ben? So then Mike, this guy right here, Chris Tier, got involved. He got involved a week after Mike. And look at this. So Mike introduced Sandra. Sandra introduced this guy, called him Bob the Builder. You know who Bob the Builder is? Mr. Credibility. I got a guy in Denton that Mark met. Mr. Credibility. He could have 50 people at his house tomorrow. And he's in. Because of Mark and because of the company, because of Steve. So what happens is, Bob the Builder goes out and he develops $100,000 a month. How's that happen? What's 1,000 times 100? 100,000. I spend over $100 a month. Why? Personal consumption. All my kids they get 21 servings of fruits and vegetables in 3 ounces, and they love it. My kids aren't getting sick like everybody else in school, to be honest with you. So if you had 1,000 people that spend $100 a month, that's 100,000. So what happens is Chris got involved a week later. He goes out, he builds a team, they do 150,000. Here's the problem for Chris. He could have got involved where Mike is, but he took his time. He looked at it, he evaluated it, and he said, I'm not sure about these things. They said, take your time. He got involved 1 week later. On this example, the company pays 10% of the weaker side. All of that volume would have been below Chris, but now it's above him because of 1 week. What's the point? Secure your real estate. Get your business center. Location, location, location. I took a position with Steve back in November. I didn't start till February. Boy, I'm glad I did. Hey, here's what happens also. The richest people in the world look for and build networks. This is the business school for people who like helping people. In order for you to move up the food chain, you got to help other people, and they pay you. Notice that. They give you $100 when you help 3 people, but when you help 10 people, they give you $1,000. When you help 4 more, they give you $5,000, $20,000, $50,000, and $100,000. You know what I like most about where this is right now? I'll tell you what I like. I don't think there's anybody above national marketing director. Is that true or false? Nobody. You look at this little room right now, you know in 6 months from now, Antoine, this thing is going to be thousands of people. People say, I don't know if these things work. Well, look around. So, we do this, and I went pretty quick, and people always ask these questions, right? They say, you're going to hear this. Say, what's so great? Why wouldn't everybody do this? Is this one of them pyramid deals? I think there's 4 or 5 reasons people don't get involved. One is they say, I don't have time. Steve, you called me for over a year. And that was my excuse. Yes? That was my dead-on excuse. I'm traveling all over the United States. I got 3 kids. I coach all their sports. How am I going to fit any time in? You know what he said? Hey, Tim, that's exactly why you need to do this. What do you mean? Well, Tim, you're exchanging time for money. When's that going to stop? Hey, if you're listening to this for the first time, when's that going to stop? If you stop working right now and your main source of income will cut off, where are you 90 days from now? Where are you 6 months from now? Time. I don't have money. You went to college? If having money was a prerequisite for going to college would be broke. I went to college. I'm not against college. People spend $100,000 to go to college. Do most of them have it in their bank account? No, why do they do it? Why do they do it? Because they think they have to. Yet 60% of the people who get a degree are waiters. I didn't use my degree. The point is, if you don't have money, by the way, just can I kind of keep it real with you? If you don't have a couple $100 or $600, a lot of things could happen in life, but it's possible. Just consider whatever you're doing is not working. Nothing personal. It's just your vehicle may not be working real well, right? So if you don't have money, that's why you need to do this, right? People say, well, how do I get the money? Oh, how'd you buy your car? How'd you buy your house? Go borrow it. It's called other people's money. People say, I'm not a salesperson. How many have heard that? People say that all the time. I'm not a salesperson. And I say, all right, why do you feel that way? And they spend about 3 minutes selling me on why they're not a salesperson. I'm like, that's a good sales pitch. And they go, my point is, we're all salespeople, yes? Sold Facebook, sold restaurants, right? By the way, if you are a salesperson, we'd love to have you. We'd love to have you doing presentations. We'd love to have you leading. If you don't ever have to speak in this, by the way, if you never want to. Another one, I hear this a lot. I've tried something like this before, it didn't work out. I had a relationship before, it didn't work out, but I still got married to somebody. By the way, I tried something like this before too. It depends what you mean by work out. I'd say there's 3 or 4 reasons it didn't work out. One is, did you treat it like a business or a hobby? 2 is, who is your coach? Who are you learning from? 3 is, did they have Coffee Berry and Mark Adams? I'm being real with that. The guy I had Mark meet with, Mr. Credibility, we had a 2-hour lunch. We drove home. He said, I've turned down every deal. I've never been into these kind of things. He goes, I'm sold. I'm absolutely sold. Mark's in it to win it. Mark looked him dead in the eye, and I'm sure you'll hear from him today. And he said, this is going the distance, and we'll be the best company ever in this industry. And he meant it. And you know what? He's got the track record to prove it. As they say, documentation beats conversation. All right, so what does it mean? How do you get started? Well, here's the deal. First thing you need is a website. Literally $99 sets it up. You got a front office and a back office. Anybody can go to your website instantaneously and buy product, wholesale, retail. The back office keeps track of all your paperwork. If you've ever owned a business and you know the liability and the headache with paperwork, it's over instantaneously. And then you want to look at product. You got the VIP, that's $5.99. You got the basic, that's $2.99. You got the junior, that's $99. You say, what do I want with this? Well, one is you want to use it. Hopefully, you'll find a product to be a product of the product. I use everything except coffee because I don't drink coffee. Second is you want to sample it. Somebody comes to a presentation, they want to taste it. I like sampling after they see a presentation, not before. That's my personal opinion. Next thing is you want to market it. What's the difference? Let me keep it real short and simple. When you start with VIP, you make double commissions. Let me say that again. When you start with VIP, you make double commissions. I'm not allowed to talk about my income part-time. I wish I could. But my income will be a whole lot lower had I not started with VIP. And if I could just keep it real, if you can come up with a few $100, you can come up with $600. $600 ain't a whole lot of product. And you can have it gone in a week. In a week, especially after the training today. And again, use other people's money if you need to. People say, I don't know if I want to do this. When I was 4 years old, I didn't think, oh, I want to do my whole life is sell coffee. It's a vehicle. I bet most of the businesses that Mark bought, he didn't think ever since he was little, I just love healthcare. Insurance is my thing. He said, this is a good vehicle, right? Third thing, look for and build a network to help you. John D. Rockefeller, first billionaire in the world. He said, I'd rather get 1% of 100 people's efforts rather than 100% of my own. You can buy product, you can buy in bulk, and you can get great discounts. You can sell it all day long. We'd love to have you. But there's more money selling franchises than owning a restaurant. And the richest people in the world look for and build networks. That's what he said. And the fourth thing right here, which is vitally, vitally important, is mentorship and coaching. Hey, here's what's going to happen. Pay attention. It's going to happen to you. It happens to me. Someone's going to see this presentation, and everybody in here is all giddy and happy, and everything's great. And they're going to go home, and they're going to ask their dad, their mom, their brother. And they're going to say, I saw something. What do you think? Here's a question. If 98% of the people are E's and S's, then they got a 98% chance of getting an E and S advice. True or false? True. Right. So if somebody goes home, and if you're here with somebody, and you're watching this right now, and you're looking at this, and you say, if it sounds too good to be true, it must be. All I want to caution you against is other people's opinion. I listened to Steve Little. And I want to tell you right now, I spent a week with these guys in Mexico. I don't deserve to be up here doing a presentation. I'm glad Steve asked me to do it. Mark asked me to do it. Hey, I'd love to do it. But if you have a chance to work with Antoine McBay, Mark Petchel, Terry and Yvonne McEwen, Mary Ann Cohee, Stephen Little, the bottom line is these guys are more documented than I am. Anybody who's a regional marketing director above is a stud or studette in this business. They're documented, and they can teach you how to make money. I decided to listen to somebody who in the last 10 years made $8 million, and his son said, my dad was always around. That meant more to me than anything. Also, in our industry, people say, Mark, these products are so great. Why did you choose to go in network marketing? The same reason Robert Kiyosaki and Donald Trump said why we recommend network marketing. The same reason that Robert Allen from Multiple Streams of Income said, I've owned restaurants, clothing stores, chocolate factories, apartment buildings, commercial buildings, seminar companies. Look, he goes, I've even owned a piece of the Utah Jazz. He says network marketing beats them all. Why? Overhead. You can have people all over the world. We're only in the United States and Canada. Kiyosaki says, if I had to do it all over again, rather than build an old style type of business, I would start building a network marketing business. That's who I decided to listen to. If you want to have a moral life, listen to Mother Teresa. If you want to have complete freedom, listen to somebody who's got complete freedom and who's done it. I want you to hear from some other people that have had success, both with the product and the opportunity. We could spend an hour with that, and then I'm going to come back up here, close it off, and get ready to talk about how to do the business.
Hello, my name's David Ball from Fort Worth, Texas, and I've been involved with Sozo for about 2 years, thanks to Stephen Little. I want to just take a moment and tell you about a product testimony from the Fat Burning Coffee. I started a medically supervised weight loss program the first part of January, and during the month of January, lost 12 pounds. I started on the Fat Burning Coffee, added that to what I was already doing the first part of February, and in 8 weeks, I've lost 42 pounds from that coffee. Thank you. Also, during that time of 2 years, I've built an organization of about 700 people. Every time they order one of these products, I get paid. I also happen to be in the top 25 earners of the company and got to go to Mexico. Thank you, Mark and Sozo. I'm so excited. Come on and join us.
Hi, my name's Austin Little. I live right here in Southlake, Texas, just turned 20 years old. And about 2 years ago, I was graduating from high school, and at that time, I had a big scholarship offer to go study business down at Baylor University in Waco, and I actually turned that down to work Sozo full-time. A lot of people thought I was crazy for doing that, but the reason I did is very simple. Having grown up in the family I did and being around this business my whole life, I came to understand the value of a leveraged income at a very young age. and I was able to experience firsthand the kind of freedom that that can provide. So now here we are, and I've been able to build a business as a teenager where I now have several hundred people that are responsible for my income instead of just me. And it's been an absolutely incredible experience so far. So excited for the future with Sozo. And I can promise you this, once you experience a leveraged income, you'll never want anything else. Thank you.
My name is Belinda York, and I am from Aledo, Texas. I joined Sozo back in January. I've never done network marketing before. I am a nutritionist, and I hold a master's degree in herbology. All that means is I get lost in the woods. I know what I eat. I found out about Sozo because Stephen Little wandered into my office in the end of January, first part of February, and introduced me to the anti-aging serum. I had been to the doctor in October to plan a surgical procedure on my forehead for March. When I went back, I started using the serum. I went back at about the end of February to get that procedure on the docket. I didn't have the procedure. The doctor wanted to know what I'd been doing. I had been using the anti-aging cream for about 6 weeks. I love, love, love that product. I can tell you firsthand that Sozo has definitely changed my life. I came on board 17 days prior to the end of the Mexico trip, and I won it. So if I can do it, anybody can. Go Sozo.
What's up, guys? Ben Jones from Waco, Texas. The last 5 years, I've traveled the world professionally and played American football. I'm that guy with 15 concussions. And if you talk to me too long, you'll understand. But let me tell you guys, football has a lot of fantastic things about it, but it also has a lot of negative things. And those concussions and aches and pains and body pain are something that does come with it negative. My testimonial is the nutritional beverage. The anti-inflammatory effects that it has on my body, if I could plug my brain into yours, would flat change your life. You don't have pain until you fractured your vertebrae playing football. So let me tell you guys, the real deal. I've been in the company for a handful of months, and down in Waco, Texas, we're taking over. We've got a massive organization, and I placed 7th in that contest and got to hang out with my beautiful, fantastic Finnish wife on the beach in Mexico just a couple of weeks ago. I currently look like a lizard, but guys, it's so simple, I'm telling you.
Hello, my name is Stephen Little Jr. I'm 24 years old. My wife Amanda and I, we do Sozo full time. We're truly living the Sozo life. When we first saw Sozo just about 2 years ago, I absolutely fell in love with the products. We were very into health and fitness and nutrition. And when I saw Coffee Berry and the products Sozo had to offer, I absolutely had to have them. There was no way I was going to go without those products. Then I started thinking, I know there's a lot of other people that need those products and a lot of other people that want those products. So I started sharing them. You fast forward, Sozo gives me a lifestyle bonus. I bought a $70,000 truck. It's gorgeous. They pay for it every month. They pay for my wife and I, our health, life, dental, vision, insurance, month after month after month. It's awesome. And we make a full-time income right from home. We are truly living the Sozo life. We have, just distributors all across every state in America and Canada. And every time those people, buy the Sozo products, we get paid. We have a leveraged income. We love it. And we're just on a mission to help as many people as possible.
Hello, my name is Mary Ann Cohey. I'm from Southlake, Texas. 24 years ago, I made a decision. I was going to change my life. I had been in corporate America for 17 years with 2 of the largest cosmetic companies in the world, Estee Lauder and Lancome. But I also had 3 young children at home, 3 daughters who are now grown, and I wanted to stay home with them. But I had a goal. I wanted to make 6 figures staying at home. That was quite a challenge. I chose network marketing as my vehicle to achieve it. It took me 3 years to get to the 6 figures. But for the past 21 years, I've never made less than 6 figures, close to 7 figures. Working out of my home with no employees, sitting in my office overlooking my pool. Now, is that a dream job or what? But I'm also here with Sozo because I love the company. When I looked at companies, you look at 3 things. You look at the management team, the products, and the comp plan. Sozo by far has all 3 of them better than anything out there, and it's a legacy play for all of us. I also love the products. I am a product of the product. I've taken these products every single day since I started, which has been several years. And I have to tell you the truth, for me, what it has done is give me clear focus, mental acuity, energy, and it's kept my weight at what I am right now. And I adore the new skincare product, the So Radiant Serum. I've seen a major difference in my skin, and I'm blessed with good skin, but I've seen a major difference in my skin. So Sozo is the company to be with. We have an amazing opportunity, and I'm very excited to be here.
Well, hello, everyone. My name is Antoine McBay, and I'm from Oak Cliff, Texas. And I'm here because of Mark Adams, and I truly understand the vision of Mark Adams. I understand of being best in class, his vision class being defined by the market leaders of this industry. And when you understand that and you look at our compensation plan and being best in class, which allows everyday ordinary people, watch this, regardless of your race, your gender, your religion, your education, or your background, to have a level playing field where you can earn anywhere from $300 to $500 to $1,000 a month or more, whatever you can vision. That's what we have here, is a level playing field with a company that is striving to be best in class in all categories. So that's why I am here. And Tim Francis is doing an incredible job. Let's give it back up to Tim Francis.
You just saw the presentation, and you're going to fall in one of three categories. And I like to tell people this. Make it simple for the person who invited you. Whether you're watching this in here, whether you're watching at home on a video, let's not play games and make it awkward. Let them know where you stand. You're going to stand in one of three categories. The first one says, I'm just not interested in the business. Virtually everybody sees value in the product, right? So let's talk about the products and get your hand on some products. And maybe later you'll be interested in the business. And the first product we talked about was coffee, right? And you got regular, decaf, instant, brewed. The next product we talked about was the 21 servings of fruits and vegetables in 3 ounces. And again, I thought when I looked at kale and spinach and carrot, it was going to be nasty. It's incredible. We love it. And then the next product is the energy. If you're drinking Monster, Red Bull, 5-Hour Energy, if you want something which right at this current time is best in class in our industry, it's like a vitamin mixer. It gives you energy with no crash. It's the energy product. And what about the serum? I mean, the results with that. And that's just the first product in that vertical. There's more to come, right? So look at that. And then this one is one of my favorites. Hey, drink 2 cups of coffee a day. Talk to Bull, he said he lost 26 pounds in 28 days, right? Drinking coffee. He used to be a bodybuilder. And 102 people, clinical trial, 10 weeks, 28 pounds, 6 inches off waist, 6.3% decrease in body fat. Number 2, so listen, if you're a 1, get some product and get it fast. Go to the person's website. If you're at someone's house right now, go to their house right and get some product. Make sure you have product to give people. Second type of person says, I'm interested, but I got questions. I'm not going to commit any time or money until I get them answered. Good news, you're going to get them answered today. And if you're at home, make sure you get the video so you understand how this works. Third type of person says, I want to secure my real estate. I'm tired of exchanging time for money. I don't understand everything, but I understand that $600 for product isn't a lot to start a business with a $100 website. And I want the next spot because I want those people to be below me, not above me. Mark Adams is the leader behind this. He's brought in incredible people like Steve Little, Antoine McBay. These kind of people who understand how to build this business, Mary Ann. All we have to do is find people who are better than us. I'm not in this business for money. I'm in it for time. 95% of people don't have time freedom. And according to Kiyosaki, the richest people in the world look for and build networks. What a network to build. Thank you. God bless.